Alright, so this is an online video on how to solve multi-step equations. So let's take some quick notes up here first. The first step to solving a multi-step equation is to distribute if it's possible. So, need to write that. Okay, so on number one, you may not have to distribute every time, but if you do see parentheses, you do need to distribute first. If there are no parentheses, that means on step two, we're just going to have to combine like terms. Okay, once you combine like terms, the last step is just to solve a two-step problem. And I know that y'all know how to solve two-step problems. So, let's look at these examples. Here are some examples of combining like terms first. So I can't distribute because I don't see any parentheses. So now I'm going to look at the right side. I see that I can combine this negative or this positive 5 and that negative 3. So I'm going to combine these two right off the bat. I know 5 minus 3 is going to be a 2. So it's a positive 2. And then I'm going to bring everything else down. Okay, so now I just need to solve that two-step problem like I would normally. I need to look at the side with the variable and do the opposite of a plus 2, which would be a minus 2. 2's are going to cancel. I know negative 4 minus 2 is negative 6. Bring down this negative 6 in. My last step is to divide, and you're going to divide by the number next to the variable, divide by negative 6, and so my answer is n equals a positive 1. Okay, so what I want you to do now is pause this video. Yes, I said pause, and then I want you to try number 2 on your own. So go ahead and press pause. Okay, hopefully you press pause. If not, I'm about to show you how to do number 2. Your answer was, you should have got x equals 3. So if you got x equals 3, skip to number 3. If you didn't get x equals 3, now is the time you need to raise your hand and ask me what I did to help you out. On number 3, this is going to be an example of distributing and then combining like terms. So I see parentheses, I know I have to distribute. So I'm going to distribute that negative 7 to everything in parentheses. Get negative 7. Negative 7 times 7x would be a minus 49x. Alright, so now that I've distributed, I need to bring everything down. So I'm going to bring down this plus 6, that equal sign, and then that 208. Okay? So now I've got a problem that looks like number 1. I need to combine like terms. So I can't combine anything on the left, I just see a 208. So out of the terms on the right, I see that I have 2 x's, so I'm going to combine those terms. I'm going to circle negative 49, circle a plus 6. Negative 49 plus 6 would be a negative 43x. And now I need to bring down everything that I did not use. Okay, so now I've got a two-step problem that I know how to do. Gonna look and see which ones look alike. There's a 208, there's a negative 7. They both don't have a variable, so I need to get rid of this minus 7 by plusing 7. Okay, I would get 215 on the left equals, bring down, don't forget that negative, 43. Last step is to divide by the number next to the variable, negative 43, negative 43, and then I would get negative 5 equals x. Okay, so a couple steps there. We had to distribute first up here, we had to combine like terms, and then solve that two-step problem like usual. So again, press pause, and I want you to try number 4 on your own. I'm about to tell you the answer, so make sure you press pause. Alright, should have got p equals 4. Okay, so if you did not get p equals 4, now is the time to raise your hand so Ms. Callahan can show you how to do this problem. Otherwise, we're going to turn over to the back. Alright, so now we're going to do examples of the distributive property, the double distributive property. So that means you're just going to multiply 2 times, combine like terms, and then solve like normal. So let me do number 7 with you. I'm going to multiply 7 times x is 7x. 7 times negative 8 is negative 56. Okay, so I've done that parentheses. Now I'm going to move over to this negative 5. Multiply negative 5 times 3 and get negative 15x. Negative 5 times 8 is a minus 40. And then I'm going to go ahead and bring this down equals negative 72. Okay, so now I have to combine like terms. I'll do that in blue. I see a 7x and a minus 15x is going to give me a negative 8x. I know a negative 56 and a negative 40 would give me a negative 96 equals negative 72. There's a 2-step problem that I know how to do. Negative 96 I need to get rid of by plussing 96 to both sides. Negative and a positive will cancel out, leaving me with 24 equals negative 8x. Last step would be to divide by negative 8 and leave me with x equals negative 3. Okay, so to review that again, when you've got this double distributive property, you're going to distribute once, distribute twice, combine like terms, and solve a 2-step problem. So why don't you try number 6 and press pause right now. Alright. You should have got x equals negative 2. So, if you did not get x equals negative 2, go ahead and raise your hand. I'll definitely come help you. Moving on. Alright, we are going to solve proportions now. Some of you guys will remember this by cross multiplying. So I'm going to cross multiply on 7. So the numbers that are across would be 3 times a 6, for example. 3 times 6 is going to be 18. And I'll go ahead and write that on the left. Now I need to cross multiply the k and the 2. So k times 2 is going to be 2k. And then all I have to do is bring down that equal sign in between them. And then I've got a 1-step problem that I know how to solve. I'm going to divide by a 2. So k would equal a 9. And that is how you solve a proportion. So why don't you try number 8, cross multiply those 2 and press pause. Alright, should have got p equals 16. So if you did not get p equals 16 for number 8, let me know and I will come help you. Alright, last problem. This looks a little different because I have 2 terms here and, for example, here. Those 2 terms could be at the top or the bottom, but that's going to change how I'm going to cross multiply. But I can go ahead and cross multiply these 2 numbers. That's not going to change anything. 9 times 8 is going to be a 72, and I can write it on that side of the equal sign. Doesn't really matter. So now, when you've got 2 terms, you need to make sure that 3 gets multiplied to the x and that 3 gets multiplied to the negative 5. So the most common way we can write that is I want 3 to be multiplied by everything on the bottom. So that's going to be our distributive property. So I would now distribute 3x, which would be 3x. 3 times negative 5 is negative 15. I've distributed, and now I'm going to bring down 72. So let me go over that again. When you're cross multiplying, you're going to cross multiply these 2 numbers and get 72. When you've got 2 numbers on top or bottom, that 3 has to distribute to the x to get 3x, and that 3 has to multiply to the negative 5 to get negative 15. So make sure you don't just multiply that 3 to the x. So there's a 2-step problem that we all know how to do. I'm going to add 15 to both sides. 3x is going to equal 72 plus 15. It's not 153. I messed up. Let me get a calculator or do it in my head. That would be 567, 87, divide by 3, divide by 3. So x would equal 29. Yes. I don't have a calculator in front of me right now, so forgive me. I believe it's 29. Alright, so you press pause, try number trend, and cross multiply those. Alright, you should have got -1. So, if you did not get -1 as your answer, raise your hand and I will come help you. Otherwise, you know how to do multi-step equations. So now is the perfect time for IXL. So you now can do J5 on IXL. So make sure you get to an 85 or a 100, and good luck. Thanks for listening.